Okay, my friends of ELA, I am going to talk about a book called Dreadnought by April Daniels. First off, I want to talk about my friendly neighborhood hero, Danny, who, despite a lacking resume, has recently taken the job position of our fallen superhero Dreadnought. She's doing her best. But before we get into the story, let's review some background first. Superheroes, and I do mean superheroes, we are now in a universe where superheroes are kind of the norm. Like DC, Marvel, and more, no superhero is the same, unique with their own powers, their own origin, and legacies that they leave behind. And for our main event, Dreadnought, who is very comparable to the DC superhero Superman. He's got a lot of background, and I can't go over all that here without spoiling the good stuff, but to be short, man is known to all, an absolute legend. Think about what a dreadnought is outside of this book, and I'll give you a hint. It is a battleship, and a pretty impressive one. Now, I think we can move on. How did Annie find herself filling a vacant position of a superhero? Well, she was rebelling against her family the only way she knew how, by painting her toenails in the back alley of a mall. While enjoying her new shade of polish, a superhero hits the ground right next to her. Some would run, but Danny, she bravely tries to help this poor man. This hero, Dreadnought, though, cannot be saved, and passes his powers over to Danny with his last dying breath. Though, I still have to say I want to be a superhero. What is off about this? Well, a well-known superhero has just died. Danny has no idea who this mystery villain is, but clearly they were strong enough to take out this man. And she is finally in the body of a girl. Though, I think I forgot to mention earlier that Danny had been born a boy and had been, up until this point, a closeted trans teen girl. As if being a teenager wasn't hard enough. Now she has to explain to her parents why their teenage son has turned into their teenage daughter. With supportive parents, this is one thing, but you haven't met Danny's dad. Now, people at school are confused. Danny's best friend thinks that he's entitled to be her boyfriend, and she is in superhero training. Sorry, minors in schools still can't down the cape. 18 years and older only. And if that wasn't enough, how is a superhero in training supposed to deal with someone trying to kill her when all she did was paint her nails and try and save a guy? Thank you, supervillain. One of the scenes in this book that is a big draw and pull, it really shows how far Danny's father was willing to go against his child's transformation and how little he cared about Danny's feelings. It is a scene that left me ranting and raving to anyone who would listen. And there is one swear, so let's be mature, my homies. Tis an emotional scene for me. He tells me I'm stupid, that I'm not thinking about the big picture, that nobody will respect me when I look like a freak, that he only wants what is best for me, but I'm screwing it all up. He says I've damaged my reputation, that nobody will take me seriously now. He demands to know why I don't have the good sense to be ashamed of what had happened to me, but doesn't wait for an answer before saying I've embarrassed them all. He says I'm pathetic, that I'm delusional, that I'm sick. He suggests that I might be a pervert, and that he, generous, caring, and steadfast as he is, might have to fight to keep me off the sex offender list for using the girls' bathroom. He tells me I'm disloyal, that I'm a bad son, that I'm selfish and disgusting. He tells me I'm weak and gross and that I have no moral fiber. He says he's never been so ashamed of me, and then he goes on to emphasize how low that is, given all the other times I've shamed him. He says all of this at a volume to shake the rafters. When I start to cry, he calls me a sniveling pussy and says he's glad his father is dead, so he never had to see what a failure I am. I suck it up fast, force the tears back as quick as I can, because I know the longer I cry, the worse it will get. Mom doesn't even watch, but that's no surprise. I stopped expecting her to help me years ago. The worst part is, I can't help but believe him. He always has a way of making me believe him. I really am disgusting and pathetic. I can crack the sound barrier, but I can't stand up to this man. If I were worthy of my powers, I wouldn't even flinch. But I'm not. I don't deserve them. I don't deserve anything. I'm crumbling like a cardboard box in the rain. The promise I made myself feels like a sick joke. This scene is what drives me. I want to see Danny's father destroyed, and I need to see that Danny's mother will stand up for her child because, homie, I don't play like that. I am invested. Not only is this book placed in a universe where superheroes are normal, but it follows my homie Danny, who is just struggling. I want to see her flourish. I want to cheer her on. I want her to succeed. And to be honest, I think you guys should too. Hype a hero up. Read the book.